Okay, so for this session we're looking at spreadsheets, and we're looking at creating formulas to actually do automated calculations and to also create a simple chart or two. So let's start with a simple spreadsheet we would have created in session, which is the family budget spreadsheet. So first thing we probably need to do here is make sure the columns are wide enough to show all the actual information. So you can do this by going to the column and the column to the right. So what I mean by this is, for example, column A here is just a little bit short. So I need to go to between the column A and where it's got column B is a little gap. And when I click, you can see it just drops down the line, just showing you which column's going to move. And if I drag that to the right, it will make the column bigger. Likewise, if I drag it to the left, it will make it smaller. Now, there's a little shortcut to this. If you go to the same location and double click, it will actually widen the column automatically to the required length. So that again, double click, and it increases them to the required length. So that's a straightforward thing. Next thing we looked at was formulas, putting the formulas in. So to do this, you need to start off by putting an equals button in, and then either click with a mouse or use your cursor key to go to each individual cell and then tell it what to do next. Probably that will either require putting a plus for the next cell or press enter when you've finished typing in all the actual formula. So let's do this one. So I've already put my equals in there. If I click on the first cell and then put plus in, it's now waiting for the next input. Now I can use the keyboard for this as well. I can use the keyboard to go to the left in this case, put a plus in for the next one, and then for the last cell, just go to the location, and I'm going to press the enter key to actually tell the computer to work out the calculation. Now that means if any of those original numbers change, so that changes say to 200, as soon as I press enter, that formula will recalculate, as you can see. So if I go back to what it was, you can see there. Now we did also do a different way, and probably a much easier and quicker way of doing formulas, which is to highlight from where the answer is going to be, backwards in this case, to where the original numbers are. So those three numbers are there. I want the answer to appear in the white cell. And all you need to do to do this, which is called a function, is to click on the function itself, which is auto sum up there. And it actually will do the function. Now likewise, if I change these numbers, that changes. Okay, now I'll just repeat that. So highlight from where the answer is going to be, click once on auto sum, and it's done. Now there is a very quick way of reproducing the actual function or formula, which is when you click back on the answer cell, you can actually use this little box in the very bottom here. It's what's called replicate. You can drag that down to other cells which don't have answers, and then when you let go, it will actually, computer will work out the answers for those cells based on the original example. So what it's done here basically, for this particular formula here, we've got a sum of B6 to D6. But for the cell below, which is on row 7, we've just changed the 6's to a 7. All the way down to row number 10, change 6's to number 10's. So choose that original example, and let's use that to work out the other formulas. So I'll work out these formulas here. So auto sum, and then I'll click on the actual answer cell. Now you have to click on the answer cell, because if you leave it highlighted like that, when you replicate it, you'll actually replicate all the information. So you replicate the 180 to there, you replicate 50 to there, which is not a problem. 450, 40, not a problem. Those would be the same. But you replicate the actual numbers across. Okay, so just click on the total, click on the replicate button, and drag it across. And in here, you can even replicate even further and go to the total. So I've now got an overall total. So I know it's going to cost me £2,874 for Jan, Feb, and March for all the actual, items you need on your budget. You can colorize your text and backgrounds. So you can do, for example, things like that. Not very pretty, possibly. You can make text bigger, make it any size you like. You can also colorize text itself. So you can do all these sort of things with this. So that's the basics. Okay, make that nice color, blue maybe. Terrible color scheme, I know. Anyway, the last thing we did was to create charts. Now, for creating charts, what you need to ensure you do is only highlight the original information, both the labels, so the energy, groceries, water, all that going down, the months going across, and the original numbers. Don't highlight the totals, not even any of them. Otherwise, it will give you a column or a box or whatever representing the whole amount as well as the rest of the data, which will look a bit strange. So just give it the original information, then go to Insert menu up here, and then go to Recommended Chart here. And then it will give you a series of different types of charts. Now there's a whole variety of different charts here, but you can go for all the different types of charts. You can actually go for all the other types of charts. We go to all charts and you can decide which chart you want to go to. There's absolutely no reason why you can't do that. But for the recommended charts, we'll give you normally the charts which work best with that type of data. Okay, so I'm going to go for this chart, click OK. Now it always puts your chart right in the middle of the screen. It doesn't matter if there's text behind or anything, it always puts it in the middle of the screen. So the first thing you probably want to do is move the chart. So if you click either the left or the right of the chart title, then that clicks on the background and it moves. If you click anywhere else, such as the chart title itself, you end up moving the element you click on. So you've got to be careful where you click when you want to move the chart. So click either the left or the right of the title is normally quite a good idea. You can resize your chart, and you can, if you want, do things like you can put title in. So you can put actual title in there. I'm going to call it family budget. Okay, oops. Right, now anything you change on the original chart, on the original data, so if I start making changes over here, not only will it recalculate there and recalculate there and recalculate the overall total, it will also change the appropriate, so that's for energy, so it's going to be the bottom, it will change the appropriate chart down there. So when I press 1, 2, 3, press equals, you can see, so that chart changed, those numbers changed. If I change it back, you can see it goes back again. So if I start changing some numbers quite big, 1, 2, 3, you can see phone jumped up there, that number has increased, that number's increased, the overall total's increased. Take it back again, yes. So there's your charts.